The Nigerian Navy says there should be no doubt about its capacity to protect critical national assets. Demonstrating the resolve on Saturday, the Navy showed off 16 locally constructed gunboats and another 4 rigid hull-inflated boats to suppress the activities of militants and other maritime crime in the Niger Delta region. Public affairs analyst Ekiyor joins us now to discuss this and tension in the Niger Delta region. Many thanks for joining us. Now, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, this move by the Navy is reminiscent of the groups in the Niger Delta who only recently said that they are resuming hostilities because the federal government has breached its promise of looking into the problem of infrastructure development in the region. What's the reaction, the general mood of the people in the Niger Delta to this story?
Okay, first, I think that this is one story too many, in the sense that time is just playing out over and over again. As far back as 2003, Obasanjo had some kind of arrangement with Masari and Atake then, some kind of amnesty arrangement to ensure that the Niger Delta was going to be developed. Prior to that time, in 1998, 99, up to 2000, the NDDC was created to drive that development. In 2009, I was president of the Joint Youth Council, and we reached the Rubicon, and we agreed that our people must stop the violence on the oil facility, and government, in its good gesture, must initiate the amnesty process to forgive anybody who are taking up arms, and then develop radically the region. That President Yaradua of blessed memory, was a great man who not only did he approve the amnesty, also gave a 10% equity to the Niger Delta people as stakeholders in the JV. Now, the idea was that going forward, those equities would have been used for development, specifically in the Niger Delta, and then he did that by also creating the Ministry of Niger Delta with primary responsibility to build infrastructure across the Niger Delta. Those are not happening. Just last year, again, the Delta State government commissioned myself and the deputy governor to go and intervene when the Avengers blew up the Facados terminal and dropped the crude oil activity down. And we spent days and days and weeks trying to look for community and information to get these people to down tools. As God will have it, the vice president then, Professor Sibanjo, also listened and decided to work with the Delta State government, and were able to stem the tide. And they were just simple demands of the Niger Delta people, as it were. Look, it doesn't matter who is president, it doesn't matter which party is in power. We're looking at broad nationalism. We're not saying that the oil from the Niger Delta should not be used to develop Nigeria or the rest of Nigeria, but it should also be used to develop the Niger Delta in a prioritized manner, because the spills are in the Niger Delta. The effect of the spills are in the Niger Delta. The estuaries of the Niger Delta is gone. Now, it is not a crime to have oil in the place. Check Aberdeen, check the Hagues, check Mexico, Gulf of Mexico, and check California, check Texas. These are mega cities built on oil trust. Now, the law we have in the country does not allow the Niger Delta people to manage their resources. So Abuja must manage it for us, manage it for our governors, manage it for the communities. And it's a case of cooking a pot of soup, richly done by you, and then I walk into your sitting room and go to your kitchen and I dish for myself and decide what you get. And that's what has created the problem. The truth is, the federal government is still being unfair to the Niger Delta people when it comes to radically addressing the yearnings of infrastructure and equity. And that has to be done. If you look at the 7 modular refineries and find out who they are considering, you'll be shocked who they are. If you look at the oil blocks and find out who own them, you'll be shocked who they are. If you look at the amount of money spent in the Niger Delta ministry as opposed to other ministries, you'll be shocked. The Niger Delta ministry that is supposed to build infrastructure in 9 states has a paltry 50 billion as compared to some MDAs. Some MDAs have up to 200 billion. So there's a lot of lopsided distribution of the resources when 97% is coming from the Niger Delta. Well, and it boils the bile of the people of the Niger Delta. I think no amount of military force will quench that bile. It is diplomacy and sincerity of purpose by the government. It is broad nationalism. It is open integration of the people of the Niger Delta with the rest of Nigeria that can resolve this.
Well, thankfully, the elders in the Niger Delta have intervened now, and we're hoping that this standoff will come to an end. Ekiyor, public affairs analyst, would like to thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.